Hey guys, it's Ernesto. I am back with another video. This video I'm basically teaching this guy how to use a camera. And this guy is my son. And this young lady back here, I forgot your name, what was your name?
Lexi.
Lexi is his friend. From high school, right?
Yeah.
Yes, from high school. So they both went to Panther Creek High School, so that's where they know each other from. So you guys are gonna follow along as I show him how to use a camera. All right, so Lexi is gonna be responsible for holding this camera. So if you see any shaky video, please blame this young lady right here. All right, so let's begin. So the first thing about cameras, there's about 4 things that you need to know about a camera. First thing is your aperture, which is also known as your f-stop. The next thing that controls your light is something called the shutter.
Okay.
Now the shutter is basically this little thing in here, okay? When you're inside and you need a lot more light and your shutter is not doing it for you or your aperture is not doing it for you, you basically will use your ISO, and the ISO you can bump that up to as much as you need it to. You don't bump it up too much, because if you bump it up too much on certain cameras, you get a whole bunch of noise.
So it's like your last resort.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like when you're flying and you trim the you trim it out instead of actually turning.
I have no idea.
Sorry.
I'm not a pilot, so I don't know.
Okay.
So that's what will control your light. So those 3 things is what they call like the exposure triangle.
Okay.
So those 3 things, your aperture, your shutter, your ISO, they control your light. Now the 4th thing that I told you about that you need to know is your
Flash?
No,
Oh.
your white balance.
Okay.
Okay? So when you're outside, you have to, most people put their white balance in auto. I do not. You have to understand what your white balance will do for you, right?
Okay.
So there's certain settings on the camera that comes preset. There's preset for daylight. So if you're outside or if you're gonna use this light, it really depends on what light is hitting your subject.
Okay.
So when we work with Leslie in a minute and we put her in the corner there, the main light that's gonna be hitting her is the light
The
outside.
natural light.
So you will put your white balance on daylight,
Okay.
because that's the main light source. Let's have our subject over here. All right, come let me show you how to use this camera. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna wanna do, right? The 4 things that we talked about is the first thing you wanna do is change your white balance, right? So this is the white balance, WB sample white balance,
Okay.
right? I already have it on daylight, but you see you have shade, you have cloudy, and you see the effect that it's doing on the image.
Oh wow.
Incandescent, fluorescent, flash, and then you have Kelvin. You can play with your Kelvin, which we're not going to talk about. That's a little bit too advanced. But these are the things that you could change. Daylight.
Okay.
So we're going to put it on daylight and leave it there. Okay? The next
You don't
thing,
adjust it up or down or anything
No.
like that?
so the next thing you're going to do is now you have to change your shutter, your ISO, and your f-stop, okay?
Okay.
So right now it says your ISO is on 1600. So you want to change your ISO from 1600 because you don't want it that high. So you're going to drop it down to maybe, let's say, 400.
And how do you judge?
Well,
how to do
you,
this? It's just
well, it
like-
comes with experience.
Okay.
But you have this live view, you could see the effect that it's doing to your picture. So you could see, if you take that picture right now, it's going to be very dark. So once the picture, so now that you can see that the picture is very dark, you have to say, what else can I change to help
get more
more
light.
light? So now you could change your f-stop, which is at 11. So what I say, if you drop the f-stop, you basically get more light. So that's what we're doing.
F-stop stand for?
Aperture. is
Oh, the
aperture.
aperture. Okay. So f-stop is aperture.
Right. So now we're going to change the aperture. So in order to change the aperture on this camera, you have to hold down this button here and
What
this
is
button
that?
right here.
The 80 button?
Mhm.
Okay.
And then you have to turn the wheel in the front. So hold it down, turn the wheel, and you drop in the aperture. So now you see you got a lot more light.
Light.
Okay, so now it's at 3.5, okay? So now is a little bit too much light. So you're gonna basically increase your
ISO?
your shutter
Oh, sure.
to decrease the amount of light. Or you could drop your ISO. Let's drop the ISO. right? Drop it down to like 100. Actually, that's too much light loss.
200.
So 200. So that's about right. That's about nice right there.
Okay.
So now you have your shutters at 50. So your aperture is at 3.5. Your shutters at 50. Your ISO is at 200.
Okay.
So those are the things that control the amount of light. So now, unless your light changes, you could shoot like this all day.
Okay, pose. Model. You're a model, right?
Yeah, but like I don't know.
Do what you do.
This is what I do. So it doesn't take it for me. I don't have to like stand in one position. It's not like you don't like just stand here, just like you kind of just like do it naturally. They take like bajillion pictures in like 1 second. They take like a lot. I don't know. It's weird.
Who, the photographer?
Yeah.
Nah, that's called spray and pray. That's the photographer that don't know what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Spray and pray, really? Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Okay, so the basics. Let's look at the pictures that you took. All right, so
A little dark.
no, it's fine.
Is
But
it?
the
I don't have my
one thing,
glasses on, so I can't really tell really well.
the one thing you need to, the difference between creating an image and taking a picture is what we were just talking about, spraying and praying, right? So hoping to get a shot by just basically taking a picture and hoping that your subject does something interesting and you get it, right?
Or just controlling the aspect of how they actually move and by like moving around and taking the actual picture, like the way you do.
No. So you basically, so for a subject, have you modeled before?
Like a little bit.
A little bit, okay.
A little bit.
So some people that may not have an experience in front of the camera may not be as comfortable in front of the camera, especially when you put a camera in front of someone's face. It'd be very...
Camera shot.
Exactly. So what you have to do is control the environment. And one of the things you have to pay attention to, once you understand those 4 things that we talked about, the next thing you have to understand is light, okay? And understanding where your light is coming from.
Okay.
So where our light is coming from, it's coming from here.
Right there.
So what you have to do is position your subject to the
So
light.
I'd move here.
No,
No?
no.
I would move.
You have to position your subject
Oh, okay. So she moves
To-
there.
to get the light.
The light. That
Now-
we need. Okay.
The thing is,
Aperture.
when you're looking at a subject in real life, it's fine. But when you're taking a picture, you want the subject to basically turn her body away from the light and then turn her head back into the light, just like that. So now what that ends up doing is, you see it gives her a shadow on this side of the face. So that chisels out her face nicely on this side, as opposed to when she was turned. Actually, let me get the camera so they can see. All right, so go back to where you were. Okay, so look at the camera here. Let me turn this one off so we don't take a picture by mistake. All right. Okay, so let me drop the exposure down because I have to overexpose it. Okay, so when you have a subject and she's facing the window, because this is the window, this is our main light source here, okay? So you don't want the subject's body to basically be facing the light source. You want her body to be turning away from the light source. What that ends up doing is add a little bit of texture on this side of the subject, okay? And then you have the subject turn her head back into the light, turn a little bit more. And now you see you have that nice little shadow on the left side of the
And it's
the
more
subject.
contoured.
Right,
Okay.
without actually doing any contouring. So the
Okay.
light is doing the contouring for us, okay?
Perfect.
And then to add a little bit of shape to the subject, what she can do is basically put her hands on her hip. Bingo. Now she could just lean forward towards us a little bit and then turn her head towards that light. Wonderful. Now the other thing that we could do is basically the hair that's on this side, just move it off a little bit so that I could give her some more neck. All right. And now you could take a picture of that. Now you have nice little shape on her arm, nice little contouring on that side, and nice little light on that face. So pick up the camera.
Ready?
Yeah, I guess.
Beautiful. Smile. I like that. Play with your.
Okay, you already sound like a photographer. You're really clear by your picture or no?
Try again. Your eyes are closed.
Now you have to really pay attention to how she positioned her face, because the minute she turns this way a little bit, you will lose that light.
There we go. Look to your left,
I think I moved to the left, not the right.
and then look directly at the camera. But keep your head facing left.
yeah.
And now do a little pose with your hips.
Can you like see my hips?
Do you
You
pose
have
with your hips?
You have to switch arms. Exactly. And then lean forward a little bit. There we go. And now, hold on.
You must ask your subject for permission to touch them. You
May
just
I
don't
your
touch.
face? Sorry, Lexi.
Okay.
Lean forward a little bit more. Now try switching it up to a different pose.
Do I stay? Like, want me to stay in this position? What do you mean by different pose? Like,
Yeah, you can turn around and but make sure that your face is facing this way.
All right, so here's a couple of things.
Okay.
When you're working with a subject, you don't want to be indecisive about your poses, okay?
Yeah.
Because you'll make
You're right.
them impatient, and they'll be like, you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So you want to be able to give them precise instructions, and if you don't know what pose to give them, just tell them, give me a little bit of a laughter, or, turn your head this way, turn it back.
Subtle suggestions.
Yes.
Okay.
Right? Until you basically nudging them to get to eventually the pose that you may think that you have in your head, but you can't articulate it. So you just give them a little bit of hint of suggestions here and there. Okay? So you want to present confidence, not
Intimidation.
it's not intimidation.
I mean, well,
You know,
intimidated.
you may feel intimidated, but she may feel very confused
Okay.
by why the hell did I hire this person to take my pictures, and you can't even give proper instructions.
Yeah, I understand. Okay. This is beautiful.
I guess so. I have such a big forehead.
This is Vogue right here. Right?
So the only problem with that is her hand.
Her hand's cut off.
It needs to be that way.
Okay.
Okay, so my arm needs to be like that.
Yeah,
This.
yeah. Because you will lose. It looks
try
like
again.
it looks like
Otra vez.
like you have a
Chicken arm.
not chicken
wing.
arm.
Okay.
It looks like it's amputated.
Oh, okay.
That's too hot on her face.
Okay.
All right, let me get my camera, and then I'll show you how it's done.
Yeah, you gotta show me. Yeah, I learned from watching rather than doing it on myself. I mimic people better.
Because what's happening is when you're zooming in and out, the aperture is
It's
changing.
changing.
And
So
when
it's too much
changing,
light.
it's too much light.
Yeah. At least I get the concept though. So let's let the professionals do what the professionals do. So I can become almost as professional as you.
Look at me, Lex. It's Lexi, right?
Mhm.
Alright, I'm gonna get my light together here.
Sorry.
That's okay. It was just a test. Actually, did I format my card? Make sure that there's no other pictures on here. Yeah, there's no other pictures. One more test. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have you just step over just 1 inch this way. That's good. All right. I just need to back up just a little bit. All right, so what I have you do is put your hands on your hip and just like, just bring your hip, push it backwards that way. And just turn your head towards that light, just like that. Just turn your upper body towards me just a little bit, just like that. Hold that. Don't move. All right, let's change up the stance really quick. Just switch, bring your legs like this. Bring it in, bring it across, and push your hips back. Now put your hands right behind your hip, just like that, and turn your head into that light. I want you to lean forward to me a little bit more, just like that, and then turn your head towards that light.
Like a
Just
50s-esque.
Just like that, all that. Now, don't move, just your eyes right here. Where my hand is, follow my hand. Right there. Now you're laughing at whatever it is that you're looking at there. Laughing, you're loving it. Just turn that way. And pretend, yeah, hold on to this with this hand. Up a little bit more. All right. I just got my composition right here. Chin down just a little bit. Now turn your head a little bit, chin down. Sit it up, hold that. Let's see.
Let me know if I need to move, Ernesto.
Huh?
Let me know if I need to move.
No, you don't need to move. I'm just checking my composition here. All right. So what I need you to do is just lean forward just a little bit. There we go. And part your lips just a little.
I forgot.
Alright, so let's have you stand up.
Did you see the pictures?
Yeah.
Did you like
All right.
them?
Mm-hmm.
With your right leg, put your right leg up there and cross it over. Alright, here's my camera.
How'd you get a step stool
I don't know where the step stool is.
in the pantry?
You want me to grab it?
No, because it's probably going to be in the shot anyway, so. Hang on, let me just make sure everything's still the same. Alright, I need you to step over this way a little bit. Just want to make sure I need that leg to be elevated a little bit more. Need something else. Shan, Najee, get me that book, you know, the Access book, the thick one. And that'll help you elevate that leg a little bit more.
I remember
Put
he's
it on there.
incredible.
Alright. Brilliant. Alright, so I want you to, your left hand, just put it in your like your thumb in your pocket right here. And then that hand, just bring it across. And then lean forward. Alright, let's see here. Alright. Najee,
Yes.
move that, the speaker.
Speaker?
Actually, move
The whole
the
table.
table across. Move it across. Don't
Where am I moving it
move
to?
it to your left. Okay. So I just wanted to see how this is situated. Yeah. Okay. That's good. All right. So with your left hand, just bring it on your leg right here. Your left. That's your left right here. So just bring it up a little bit. There we go. Now, your index finger, I just want your index finger to be pointed and your rest of your fingers to just be crunched up a little bit.
Oh, on this one?
Not too much. Relax it. Let it go.
You don't want the claw.
Yeah, that's what my
Yeah,
dad
don't want
calls
the
it too.
Drop it and just bring it on your leg and then bring it back up. Just have just relax your fingers just a little bit more. Relax it. There we go. Leave it just like that. All right, just lean your upper body forward just a little bit. There we go. All right, hold that. Now your left hand, put it behind you, all the way behind you. There we go. And lean forward. There we go. Hold that. Now to get that reflector. That left hand of yours, I want you to just play with your hair, like run it through your hair. Well, you know what? Just
I can just
pretend.
Pretend like this. Like this.
Okay.
Essentially.
I need your face to be turned this way. There we go. And eyes back towards me. Chin down. Hold that. Don't move. Give me that hint of a smile. Part your lips. Nice. Hold that. Now you're looking out the window, and we are giggling. Chin down just a little bit. Bring that shoulder, your right shoulder up just a little bit, like you're being coy, laughing, loving it. Yeah. Whatever's out there is very funny.
I get really like.
Alright, hang on. So for the hair part, since you just have to keep it in one position, so you don't have to, play with it. Just keep it in one position, and then you're just laughing, not hysterically. And that left shoulder, you can bring it up, being coy about it. Hang on. All right, go for it, and lean forward, having fun, laughing. Actually, make the sound because it's gonna help.
Okay.
There we go. It's funny. I'm the best. Najee's pants.
Oh God.
There we go.
Where's my-
Nacho.
So, Lexi,
Yes.
how did Najee do? Be honest.
He did okay.
You did okay?
Still learning to do, but yeah.
So about
He did
learning.
Good for his first time.
So Najee, what did you learn today?
I learned about the aperture, the shutter, and the ISO. And I learned that you have to be confident in the way you position your model to make sure that they feel confident enough to take a good picture.
Okay. And how are you gonna make sure that you remember all that stuff?
I'm going to practice with changing the ISO and moving the shutter and getting the correct light on a semi-regular basis whenever I have a camera, so that way I can learn with experience how to do it properly.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right, guys. So that was it. I hope you guys enjoyed this little vlog style. Stop making fun of me, Lexi. I hope you guys enjoyed this little vlog style photo shoot of this learning session here with my son and his friend Lexi. So, guys, thank you very much. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button. I don't see any thumbs up. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Oh, there we go. And if you have any comments, put those comments down below. Please share this video with your friends and family, and subscribe. Bye.